There is something truly powerful about Black women over 50, something that time can never take away. It is not just the wisdom in your eyes and the grace in your walk. It is the way your skin holds light differently than it did at 20. Richer, deeper, more luminous with every passing year. Most people spend their whole lives chasing a glow. You were born with one. And yet, somewhere along the way, so many of us started hiding our arms, covering up, reaching for the cardigan before the compliment even had a chance to land. Today, that changes. I'm your girl from Golden Melanin Luxuries, and if you're new here, this is your home for timeless style, confidence, and celebrating the beauty of aging as a Black woman with pride. Now let's get right into it, because you deserve 5 ways to wear that sleeveless dress and absolutely own the room. Trick number 1 is the power strap. Here's something most women never think about. Sometimes the discomfort you feel in a sleeveless dress has nothing to do with your arms at all. It has everything to do with the architecture of the dress itself. So many sleeveless styles come with those delicate, spaghetti-thin straps. On a mannequin, they look dainty. On a mature, beautifully full body, they can actually work against you. A thin strap next to a fuller shoulder creates an optical exaggeration. It makes the shoulder look like it's spilling out around something too small to contain it. It also tends to dig in, and anything that looks like it's straining is never going to look elegant, no matter how gorgeous the fabric is. The fix is simple, and it changes everything. Look for a strap that's at least 2 to 3 fingers wide, sometimes even a wide cap sleeve that sits right at the top of the shoulder. That wider strap becomes an anchor. It gives the eye a clean, confident line to follow, instead of a nervous little thread trying to hold everything together. It also means you can wear real support underneath, a proper bra without any peekaboo straps ruining the look halfway through the evening. While you're at it, pay attention to the neckline too. Skip the straight across square necklines because they draw a horizontal line right toward the widest part of the arm. Instead, reach for a soft V-neck, a sweetheart, or an asymmetrical cut. These necklines pull the eye diagonally, inward, toward your collarbone and your face, which is exactly where you want it. And don't forget the armhole itself. At this stage of life, our skin has softened beautifully, and a tight, high-cut armhole can pinch and create a bulge that has nothing to do with your actual size. A slightly dropped armhole or a relaxed racerback will always look more elongated and intentional. What to avoid here is simple: thin straps that dig in, boxy square necklines, and armholes that are cut too snug. Do this right, and your shoulders won't just look covered, they'll look sculpted, deliberate, and radiant against that rich skin tone. Trick number 2 is what I call the effortless duster shirt. A button-down shirt is usually filed away in our minds as something for the office, but when you drape it over a sleeveless dress, it transforms into the most elegant, unexpected layering piece you own. The trick is you never button it closed. We are not hiding the dress, we're framing it. Slip the shirt on over the dress, leave every button undone, then take the 2 front tails and tie them into a soft, loose knot right at your natural waistline. That single knot does 2 things at once. It defines your shape beautifully, and it creates a long, flattering V-line down the front of your body that instantly makes you look taller and more put together. Then, roll those sleeves up to just below the elbow. This matters more than you'd think. For most women over 60, the wrist and lower forearm stay the leanest, most elegant part of the arm, so showing that off while gently covering the upper arm creates a naturally slimming effect without you doing a single thing to your body. Fabric choice makes or breaks this look. For daytime, brunch, a garden party, a crisp white or ivory linen shirt is unbeatable. It has enough structure to hold its shape and enough breathability to keep you cool. For evening events, swap it for a sheer silk or organza shirt in a shade that echoes your dress. That creates what I like to call a halo effect, a soft blur of fabric that photographs like couture. One more small but mighty detail: pop the collar. It instantly frames your jawline and pulls every eye upward toward your face, your smile, your presence. What to avoid is buttoning the shirt shut, which flattens your silhouette and hides the very dress you paid good money for, and choosing a shirt so stiff or boxy it fights against the movement of the dress underneath. Done correctly, this layering trick reads as effortlessly chic, like you just stepped off a terrace somewhere warm and beautiful. Trick number 3 is the airy wrap, and this one is a complete departure from what most of us were taught. So many of us grew up reaching for a heavy pashmina to throw over a sleeveless dress. And if you've ever worn one, you know the problem. You spend the entire event clutching it, adjusting it, catching it before it slides off your shoulder and lands in the dip. Ironically, all that fussing draws more attention to your arms, not less, because people notice movement and readjustment far more than they notice stillness. The elegant alternative is a wrap made from something that floats rather than something that sits heavy. Think open weave linen, silk chiffon, or a fine organza. These fabrics move with your body instead of against it. They offer a soft, shifting glimpse of your arm rather than a full reveal. And that little bit of mystery reads as intentional, almost architectural, instead of like you're trying to disappear. Here's the trick that keeps it from sliding all night: the asymmetrical drape. Instead of wrapping it evenly across your back, let it fall over one shoulder, bring the other end underneath your opposite arm, and pin the two ends together with a striking vintage brooch. In one move, you've created a piece that looks custom designed. Your hands stay completely free, and the wrap simply will not budge. For contrast, if your dress is a smooth, solid silk, reach for a wrap with texture, a crinkled linen or a soft burnout velvet. That interplay of textures is what makes an outfit look considered rather than accidental. What to avoid is heavy wool or thick knit wraps that add bulk and require constant adjusting, and wrapping it symmetrically like a towel, which flattens the whole silhouette. Get this one right, and you'll have an accessory that looks like it was styled by someone on Milan's front row, not grabbed off a hook on your way out the door. Trick number 4 is the featherweight underlayer, and this is the one that quietly solves the most common complaint I hear. When we feel exposed, our instinct is to grab a cardigan, but a knitted cardigan almost always works against you. It visually chops your body in half, it adds bulk right at the shoulders, and it hides the waistline of the very dress you loved enough to buy in the first place. Instead of layering something over the dress, we're going to layer something under it. Look for high-quality, ultra-fine mesh or a delicate second skin top. We're talking about soft micro mesh or fine lace with real stretch. Nothing scratchy, nothing that looks like a costume piece. Slip a sheer long-sleeve top underneath your sleeveless dress, and something remarkable happens. It softens the transition from shoulder to arm, almost like a filter, while still letting your natural skin tone shine through. The secret to making this look expensive rather than accidental is matching tones. A black dress gets a black mesh underlayer. A soft camel or cream dress gets something in nude or champagne lace. When the tones align closely, it looks as though the dress was designed with those sleeves built in from the start, not added as an afterthought. And if full coverage feels like too much, you don't need a full top at all. A cropped mesh piece or even a pair of sheer arm sleeves can do the exact same job while keeping you cooler in warmer weather. What to avoid is anything with a visible seam, an obvious color mismatch, or a fabric so opaque it just becomes another sleeve instead of a whisper of one. Done well, this trick is nearly invisible, and that's exactly the point. People will simply see you, glowing, elegant, and completely at ease. Trick number 5 is the art of the focal point, and it's for those days you don't want to layer anything at all. No wrap, no shirt, no underlayer, just you and the dress. This is the oldest trick in the book of style, and it works because attention always goes where you send it. If you give people something breathtaking to look at, that's exactly where their eyes will stay. Start with the skin itself. Often, what makes us feel self-conscious isn't the shape of the arm at all. It's simply a lack of light and hydration. Smooth on a body oil with the faintest, most sophisticated shimmer, nothing glittery or costume-like, just enough to catch the light. Apply it along your shoulders and collarbone, and when light hits that skin, it creates an instant, youthful lift, the kind that makes people ask what your secret is. Then comes the real magic, the statement piece. This is your moment to go bold. An oversized cuff, a dramatic pair of drop earrings, a bold silk scarf tied high at the throat, or a chunky sculptural necklace. When you place that much visual richness near your face, you create a magnet, and every eye in the room follows it there. People will remember your earrings. They'll remember the way that necklace caught the light. They will remember your smile. Your arms simply become the elegant frame around the real masterpiece, which has always been you. What to avoid here is playing it too safe. Small, timid jewelry won't create the pull you need. And skipping the skin prep, because dry, dull skin is the one thing that can undercut even the boldest accessory. Get this one right, and you won't need a single extra layer. Your presence will do all the talking. 5 tricks, 5 completely different ways to walk into any room without a second thought about your arms. Whether it's the structured ease of the duster shirt, the quiet confidence of a well-placed strap, or simply letting a statement necklace do the talking, none of these require you to shrink, cover up, or apologize for showing skin that has earned every bit of the glow it carries. Style after 50, and especially after 60, was never about following someone else's rulebook. It's about knowing exactly which small adjustments make you feel unstoppable, and then wearing that feeling louder than the dress itself. So the next time that sleeveless dress catches your eye on the rack, don't put it back. Bring it home. You already have everything you need to make it stunning. Tell me in the comments which of these 5 you're trying first. I read every single one. And if this kind of style guidance speaks to you, stay close. Subscribe to Golden Melanin Luxuries, because there is so much more timeless beauty and confidence still to come. Until next time, stay golden.